Hey, everybody.
Did you know?
We're back.
We're live.
Sorry about last night, but yesterday was crazy busy.
Yeah.
And so by the time we got back here to the house,
You wouldn't want to see us.
no, we were kind of. So we decided we'll just do it tomorrow night.
Have you ever walked around a Walmart and wondered why you're there?
Oh, my God.
That's where we were.
Walking on those cement floors is a killer.
Yeah, it is.
So,
hey, did you know if you take a one of them square batteries and you take the two ends and stick it on your tongue, you'll get a charge?
oh, brother.
Try it out. I found that out as a kid.
Oh, brother. Anyway.
Did you know?
So, here we are. Tonight, Russ and I are going to take you on a little virtual tour south of where we live down to a big city called Tacoma, Washington. And we're going to get into the land of the serial killers.
We've had a few here.
Yeah, we've had several here.
I wonder if there's something in the water.
I don't know. But we're going to talk about, tonight we're going to talk about one of the most prolific serial killers Washington has ever had. And actually the country as well. I mean, we've had some pretty nasty ones you all know. I'm sure you all heard about. But this guy, you definitely have heard about. But you might not know some of the background of what was going on during his killings and where he started and all that stuff. So we're going to just kind of bring that to you. And that is Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was a nightmare. I mean, for Washington State and for the people that he made into victims. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's kind of start at the beginning so you guys can get to know him a little bit. Most people know that.
You don't really want to know this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to know him either, but it was interesting to research into who he was and what he was like, that kind of thing. So I got to get the right paper. I got papers all over the place. Okay, so Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24th, 1946. He was, like I said, he was one of the most prolific serial killers in the United States, but he resided up here. He moved through several states, as we'll kind of talk about. He would kidnap, rape, and murder numerous women through his time before he actually got captured.
Numerous.
And one of the places he started where this started for him was in Tacoma at the University of Puget Sound.
He had a thing for colleges.
Yeah, well, college girls.
Well, yeah,
between the ages of 18 and 22, I believe it was.
Well, think about it. You know, you got a lot of young ladies that are going to be attending, and it's just like a hunting ground.
Right.
Yeah.
1 second. I got to put up the slides.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, wrong one. Hang on. There we go. Okay. That way you guys can see the slides.
I like that. Land of the serial killer. I like that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's Ted Bundy. And we're going to talk a little bit about where he's from. He actually had serious relationships with women. I mean, the kind that, you know, most relationships are like. But for some reason, he had a taste for killing women.
Well, here's the thing. Now you look at Ted here, and he's quite a handsome young man.
Very intelligent.
Very intelligent. You would never know. Another killer, Ed Gein. And there's stark differences between the two. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a well-dressed, well-mannered man, and the other guy was a pig farmer.
Well,
and you wouldn't know.
We're going to talk about that.
No, I'm just saying the contrast between killers.
Well, that and Gacy and Dahmer.
He was a clown, you know, and the other guy was just They're all different, and my point is, you don't know who's who.
Right. And they're all different in their approach too to how they did these murders. Okay, so
onward.
Okay, so let me try to see where I'm at here. Okay. He lived when he was a kid. His mother moved them from New Jersey, I believe it was, to Washington State in Tacoma. And he grew up in this house, and when they went to reconstruct, well, not really reconstruct, but redo the house after, long after he, had moved out and probably was in prison, they went, this person bought the house and they were redoing the inside of it, and they found numerous bones of animals in the walls. Now, if you know anything about serial killers, the psychology of or their brain is they as kids you would normally see them hurting animals or something like that. And that kind of started them out into um, being this crazy serial killer. And he had a grandfather that used to bully him and beat him up all the time, him and his mother. Then she married this other guy, and she got beat by him. So she got tired of it, and so that's when she moved her and Ted to Tacoma, and live with some family members or something. Okay, then I'm having a hard time reading this because the light's so low. Oh, Russ is gonna turn on his little light again for me so I can see. Okay.
I don't have many jobs, but
Now,
see that's what it's going to do. It's going to put
while the people were renovating the house, all kinds of crazy stuff was going on. And so the contractor actually had a priest come in and bless the house because to try and get rid of whatever this was. And then afterwards, the energy, had calmed down and everything.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine? Wouldn't the spirits of some of these victims be hanging?
Well, there was no victims at that house. It was later.
Well, yeah, but
when he went to college, he graduated, or no, he graduated from high school. I think they said 1969, but then after that, he signed up to go to University of Puget Sound, which he did. Okay, so then he started going over, walking around the campus and thing. This is actually prior to him signing up for school, but he would walk around the campus and watch women. So I don't think he ever got caught doing it or anything, but was the story that someone had done research with him or interviewed him or something. And he kind of told his whole story prior to being executed, obviously. Russ, can you hold that up again, please?
I only got the one job.
So his first victim was what was her name? Where'd it go? Her name was Anne Marie Burr, and they believe that she was the first victim, but her body was never found. Excuse me. Okay.
Jeez.
Well, just set it up or something so you don't have to hold
it. Well, I can't just set it
up. Okay, then he joined University of Puget Sound, and let's see, possibly. Okay, then he, I made so many notes I have to go through them. Okay, the most known. Let me go and click on the next. Okay, this lady right here was his set. Okay, the first victim, he didn't kill, but he beat her. To where she was disabled for the rest of her life. The first, or the second person was Linda Ann Healy, and this is a picture of her. And then he ended up killing her. Rape, torture, you name it, he did it. And then he buried his victims were always buried out in the woods. And I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Do you mind?
No, I don't.
Okay. Then his next group, okay, these women right here, a couple of them survived, like I said, but mostly they fell prey to his wickedness or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, all these girls were kind of the age group, like I said, was 19, somewhere around 18 to 22 years old. They all had dark hair, parted down the middle. Nobody understands why he preferred those kind of girls. But that's the way girls wore their hair back in the 1970s. So, and this is 1974. 1974 was a busy year for this guy. Killed a lot of women in that year,
Yep.
and he was a real sick. He was real sick. He would go back to where he buried these women and have sex with them, a decaying corpse. I mean, this guy was sick, and he actually later on, once he had been convicted and was getting ready to get put to death, he actually was giving police ideas because he was a psychology major in school, so he would use his psychology stuff um, to help them find other serial killers and how serial killers acted and everything else. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was very smart, but that's the thing. They say that most serial killers are very intelligent. Why they go off on these killing sprees, God only knows.
They got more than the screw loose.
Yeah. So let me see what else I got here. Nothing. I got a bunch of stuff. Okay, here he is.
Yeah.
Okay, I went through that. But he had good social skills. He did have, like I said, he did have successful relationships with women. He sexually assaulted and killed several young women in the Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Utah, and Florida. So he was, bi-coastal. He confessed to 28 murders. Estimated he did hundreds of the cops and stuff. Once they got done, talking to him and everything else.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds, and they estimated that he did hundreds of deaths over a bunch of years. Says his 65 and
it just goes to prove that it's like any other crime or criminal once they get into it, it's like a rush for them,
right?
And they just got to keep doing it.
Right. Now Bundy's girlfriend, one of his girlfriends, I don't think they mentioned the name, but one of his girlfriends was the first one to report him, that she suspected that he was because people would give like identification and safe like of that, and
because they had an idea,
they had kind of an idea,
a working idea what he looked like.
Yeah, because people would witness him and stuff. Okay, then
wouldn't you know that your boyfriend's kind of creepy? I mean,
as time progressed, he ended up he put a fake cast on his arm. So what he would do was he'd take that cast and bludgeon these women until they were unconscious, and then he would strangle them. He would rape them. He would like I said, he would dump them in the woods, and then he would often revisit the corpses to continue having sex with them again.
Yeah, most of the time the sexual assaults happen after death.
Right.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's real creepy. He would decapitate his victims and keep their skulls for a trophy in his apartment in Seattle. I think it was in Seattle, maybe probably Tacoma, and then would sleep next to them at night. Boy. Whew. Okay, his victims were from January to June, so not a very long period of time in Washington, in 1974, and I think he killed something like 10 women here or something. I remember being in high school here, and in 1972 I was in high school. So in 1974 I was a sophomore, junior in high school, and I remember the police coming on and coming to school and everything and saying, "Listen, we got a serial killer up here. You ladies need to be very careful because he has no conscience as to age or anything." I mean, they presumed he only did it with 18-year-olds up, but it could have been younger. So we were everywhere we went, he was hanging out in the malls and everything else and trying to pick up victims. So sorry. Okay, then he went from Washington, didn't get caught up here, went to Washington, from Washington to Utah, killed several girls there. Then he went and he escaped twice from, the police. Once he did it, he escaped one time from Aspen, Colorado. They re-caught him, and then he was someplace else. I'm not sure. I can't remember what state, but he was. He escaped from a jail cell.
I think it was in Florida.
No,
No,
no, I think it was. What was the other states he was in? One was in Utah, I think, and then the other one was in Aspen, Colorado. Then in January of 1978, he broke into a sorority house at the University of Florida, um, and killed 5 of the girls in there, and I think one of them survived. Okay, there was 4 victims, and he didn't stop there. He killed these girls. I mean, he beat them to death, and
did his
did his
thing.
normal thing, and then he went down the street just a couple blocks and ended up killing another woman. I'm trying to read what it says, but he didn't murder her. He just beat her up really good, and she was one of the ones that she ended up not being able to. She had a disability after that because he beat her so much around the head that she lost her hearing in both ears. So it was pretty bad. He was quite the sicko.
But his mistake was when he went to Florida and killed these girls because Florida don't play, and they put him to death.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, but he always counsel. He was his own counsel. I mean, because he thought he was so smart and everything. But here are some of the tools that he used. He always wore a ski mask during the proliferation of his acts. He wore gloves all the time. He used picks and ropes, and I don't know what that thing is. Do you know what that? Oh, garbage bags. And that's how he buried him. And all these things were in his car when they caught him. So they knew, what else would you use all this stuff for? I mean, really.
Yeah.
All in the same place at the same time.
Well, yes, kind of obvious.
And then there was a bag of some kind right there, but I can't tell what's inside of it. But anyway, so I think it was when he was in Florida. He drove an orange Volkswagen, didn't he?
Well, he had one up here too. I mean, that's why he drove his Volkswagen.
Yeah, because he would go and he took the passenger seat out of the Volkswagen, and then when the girls would get in,
he would use the excuse that he had a broken arm and that he would need help to do something in his car. I think it was like take a dinghy off or something, and which a dinghy's a small boat if you didn't know. Anyway, and then when he got the girls up there, he'd just club them with it. He would do this stuff and right not far from here, Lake Snohomish. Snohomish?
No.
Samish.
Right, Lake Samish, yeah.
Yeah. Did 2 or 3 of them. That's right in Bellingham.
I looked that up and nobody talked about it.
It's weird.
Yeah, because there was a girl kidnapped from Lake Samish, and she was, which is in Bellingham, and her friends, thank God she was with her friends, and that's the girl that identified him. He was arrested up here, I think, and then
but they couldn't make it stick.
Yeah, they couldn't make it stick for some reason. Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, he convinced. I mean, he was so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, you just wouldn't believe he was a killer or a rapist.
Right.
But like I said, you can't tell.
Right. Okay. Now we're going to talk about this other guy. Wait a minute. Move your phone.
Hey, don't.
I got to get to the next
She
guy.
gets kind of pushy.
Okay. Then we have another guy. His name was Jake Bird. This guy was.
I've never heard of this guy.
He was also a. He would go from state to state, and he was killing all kinds of people. Let me get some information about him. Rush. Okay, Jack Bird was born on December 14th, 1901, and he was executed on July 14th, 1949. The reason he's so well known up here is because he murdered 2 women in their house. Actually, the house is still standing, and I know that it is extremely haunted. Everybody that's gone has lived in the house, moved out within a few days.
Wow.
It was really bad. A lot of they would hear moaning and banging and all kinds of stuff, and people would just say, I don't think so, and they'd move out, So yeah, pretty scary. But the 2 victims that he killed up here, Their names were Bertha Clute, 53 years old, single mom, and Beverly Clute, her daughters, she was 17, and the murders happened on October 30th, 1947.
Wow.
Hang on a minute. I think I have a picture of them. Well, anyway, let's go to this next part, and then I'll go back to it. But okay, so he confessed throughout 10 states that he did all these murders. He confessed to like 44 killings. He in Omaha, which is Nebraska, he tried to kill a guy by the name of what was it, J.W. Blackman, and I think he did murder him, but he always used an axe. This guy was an axe killer. He would
44 people. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he
Can you imagine just for a second taking a life?
Right.
The feeling, the dread and everything, and you'd have to live with that. And the normal person wouldn't be able to continue. You know, it would mess you up. I know accidentally taking a life would mess you up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
44. He's already messed up. I just can't imagine the mindset of someone that would want to kill 44 times, much less once. But that's me.
Trying to find my other. I just had it. Where'd it go?
He looks like a scary guy.
Yeah, he wasn't that great of a person, that's for sure.
What are you looking for?
I have another pad, but I can't find it.
Oh Lord, more pads.
I said I have crap laying everywhere. Oh, it fell down here. There we go. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, and along with Ted Bundy's, his place is the apartment that he lived in, wherever that was. I think Tacoma.
Oh, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. He was
Mary.
And Mary. Hi, Mary. And Tosh, of course, and Soul Tribe Sessions. Hello.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, he was a very sick and twisted.
Yeah, he got pleasure.
How
can anybody get pleasure out of that? I don't know. I guess you got to be completely off level.
Well, I had stuff about him. Where'd it go? Oh Lord. Anyway, so
he's scary.
So he's not much, that we can talk about, because he wasn't here very long, I guess, but he was in New Orleans, he was in Nebraska, and like 7 other states besides that, but they don't mention them, so I couldn't write it down. But anyway, so this guy,
I'm grounded already. Thank you.
So this guy was, like I said, executed in 1949, I think, and he was on the day that he was executed. Let me see. Oh, would you move that, please?
Hey,
Okay, here's the article about the ladies that he killed. I think this was the lady the mother,
the widow and daughter. Yes.
Yeah, and then these 2 cops that caught him. He was running out the back door after the murder, and they caught him. So thank God for that. But he got convicted of murder and stuff, and they put him on death row, and they killed him. But prior to his death, or no, it was when he was in court, he told the whole court that anybody who was involved, so he put like a hex on him, a curse. He said anybody that was involved in capturing, convicting, and even the guys on death row would die, within a short span of time after his death, after he was executed. And it's weird because 6 or 7 of the people that were connected, there was a judge, I think there was a cop, there was some lawyers that were involved, and a couple other people, they all ended up dying mysteriously for no reason, like heart attacks and everything. And this is all within a very short period of time after he was executed. And a lot of people say that he haunts the prison.
Why not?
I think that would probably be Walla Walla, because that's where they execute people.
You got to figure somebody like that
did execute people.
They're like connected to Satan or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, we had, let's see, we've had several serial killers up here. Bianca was one of them. The guy that thought his dog was talking to him and telling him to kill people. Yeah, he was up
Son of
here.
Sam.
Yeah, that guy. It was another guy, but I can't remember what his name right off the bat. But they used to hang out in this bar. It was so weird. They used to hang out in this bar in Bellingham. It sits right on the wharf.
Some of the names are could be, there's proof that they were around. But there's no proof that they were actually in the bar.
Yeah.
And even the bartender tells you that, but I think it's quite a few of them were actually there. So yeah, Melissa, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Been thinking a lot about you. Evil spirits, yeah, why not? Yeah.
So I didn't know how many, like, if you guys had any of this stuff in your states, but it's interesting to research these guys to find out where their head's at, because like I said, most of them were considered intelligent. They were very aware of what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
Like Dahmer and stuff, he knew exactly what he was doing. Gacy knew exactly what he was doing, and that community just loved these people. These were people that
yeah,
people were drawn to them, which is scary in itself. And serial killers, I can't even talk. Serial killers are just, you have to watch out for people like that, because
they blend in.
Yeah, they blend into the community, and most of the time when bodies are found or whatever, and they're one of theirs, they seem to always show up there.
Yeah.
In murder cases, even just regular murder cases, the person who did it usually is in the audience watching.
They like to see the results of their handiwork.
They do.
Absolutely.
It gets them off, according to what psychologists say. I mean, it really gives them a power thing. So yeah, I'm glad, Melissa. We missed you, honey.
You better stay on the side.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was the hex of Jake Bird. People talk about it still to this day, because it was just weird. Those two guys in the picture with him, they believe two of those two men died. Well, I think one died of a heart attack, and I don't know what the other one died of, but they all died shortly after.
Isn't that crazy?
His, where he ended up going to prison and getting executed. So the correction people, oh yeah, a couple of the correction guards died too, which was weird. So it was like 6 or 7 people that died. So he cursed them and they died. I mean, if you want to believe that, I mean, I'm not a real big fan of curses or anything, but yeah.
That kind of stuff, I have a story about a curse, but
well, go ahead, because we still got time.
It was a friend of ours.
Should have did 3, but I didn't.
Oh, you did? Okay. Anyway, back in the day, a friend of mine, their family was Cuban. Their origins were Cuban. The daughter, apparently, let's see, how'd that go? It was over a broke up love romance, and they didn't agree with the daughter's decision not to marry the guy. So the party that got stiffed put a curse on her daughter, the woman's daughter, and I'm telling you, I saw her legs. They had black veins in them, like where your blood would be going, but it was going in reverse from the feet going up. Really odd looking.
Mm-hmm.
Had a Cuban lady come in.
She was a priestess.
She was a priestess. I was allowed to stand by and watch. Don't interfere. Don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just you can watch, because I was close to the family.
It was voodoo or something, wasn't it?
It was something, because
I don't think it was voodoo. I think it was hoodoo or something.
Whatever the
I don't know.
whatever the Cubans do, because we're talking Havana. I mean, we're Cubans. This lady came in with the chicken. We're talking taking the neck out, cutting up, blood going everywhere. It was wild. She was doing some wild stuff. Kind of reminiscent of, I watched a Korean lady on MASH one time perform an exorcism. Kind of the same thing, except not as elaborate with what she was doing. It involved tequila, not vodka, tequila, and a lot of drinking and spitting of that, and something about the chicken blood in the tequila. And I don't know exactly what all she did, but she was spraying this all over her legs. And I'm telling you guys, I watched that stuff go out of her legs and into the chicken that was laying down by her feet with the head off of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It blew me away. To this day, I'm 64 years old. That happened when I was probably 15. I still remember it very clear.
Yeah.
And it was real.
That's something that you forget because it was
I'm very grateful that I was allowed to attend. The doctors didn't know what to do for this girl. She was in pain, and that girl was up running around out in the yard 10 minutes later. The lady got her stuff up. She left. They paid her, and
well, this girl was dying. She was, and this lady came in and did her thing, and she was, like Russ said, she was out in the yard playing afterwards.
So. I saw it.
But black magic. But as far as Jake Bird goes, I don't know if he was a practicing like voodoo person or anything like that. I have no idea. But it worked, whatever he did. I mean, he must have done some kind of ritual, you would think, to allow him to do that. Now, you would think most of those people wouldn't believe in that kind of stuff because of the jobs they had and things like that. But, if somebody's doing, black magic, you just never know.
But you got to wonder, could some of it be psychological because they tell you they're doing this to you and it gets in your freaking head?
Well, if they tell you enough,
manifest a lot of the stuff yourself into your own life. Maybe I don't know.
I think if you tell somebody something enough that they're going to believe it, and it's whatever it is, it's going to happen.
I've always said you got an empty house and there's nothing going on, and somebody makes up a story about a ghost that's in there, and you got people that don't know anything about it. They come up, they're told there's a ghost in there. They're going to find a ghost.
Right.
It's just the way it is. You're going to find it regardless if it's there or not.
We've never done this, but we've heard of people that have set up a house as an experiment and told people what there was ghosts in there, and when they came out of there was ghosts in there.
It was a study, and I got to say it was fair.
Yeah,
it was absolutely fair.
But I think it was kind of wrong for somebody to do that because people have expectations, especially paranormal investigators.
True.
That when they go in someplace, they want to see they want to go through the experience. But here's the problem: is even though you want to go through the experience, you can actually call in spirits by believing enough. You can. It's just like it's kind of like a giant roller coaster. You're gonna call in these spirits, and then it's gonna go down a little bit, and then other people come in. They think there's ghosts there, and then it goes. Yeah, it's a roller coaster ride. So
well, same thing with demons, right? I mean, if you're strong-willed, strong mind, you can keep them at bay. But once you let that defense down, and you
go into fear, then you're
attracting it, and all of a sudden it's suppressing you. Yeah,
which can lead to possession. There's that other word too, but I can never remember what it is. I think it's obsession.
Obsession, possession.
No, there's a word right in between there.
Where's Robert?
I don't remember what it is, but
come on, guys, everybody knows.
I don't really get into that kind of stuff. I try to stay away from it.
I don't do that. No.
I mean, Russ and I have done a lot of different kinds of investigations, different places. I mean, any kind of haunted place you can possibly think of, we probably investigated it. But the thing is that if you go into it having too many expectations, you're either going to be really disappointed or you're going to be really believing that you experienced something. even if you didn't get, even if it's just a personal experience and you didn't get any kind of other evidence, like photos or, I said that, but yeah. What was I saying? Oh, if you didn't get any evidence, like I started to say, then you're just going to go off your personal experiences that you did have an experience and you're going to use it as paranormal evidence, but it doesn't work out that way. So
no.
Russ and I are going to be going to meet a new paranormal investigator tomorrow.
Some tips.
Give her some tips and try and
she wants to form a new team.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're not going to be on her team, but we might go investigate with her once in a while.
We don't. It's not that I don't want to be a team. I'm just.
Russ and I are 64. We don't need that thrill thing anymore. I mean, it used to be really exciting to go into these different places and think, oh my gosh, what are we going to experience here? But now it's more so I want to help the spirits more so than I do trying to get evidence that they're there. So,
and I'm on the other end of the limb. I dig the history and the ghost story plot.
Well, I do too.
But
I don't need to investigate that much anymore because I've done it. Russ and I have done thousands of investigations over 43 years.
Whenever I'm walking through an historical place or something's really old, it ain't got to be historical, but something's old. Yeah. My mind just goes automatically back to 1800s, and you're going, we went to where Billy the Kid had a shootout, Lincoln County, all that stuff. And we were up in the courthouse, right where he shot the guy.
Yeah.
And you're right there. You could almost hear the gunshot.
Well, he shot the guy from the he shot two different deputies, but one out of a window and one as he was running down the stairs trying to get away from him.
But you're standing right there, right where it happened. And a lot of people don't appreciate that. You just got to take a moment and just feel the area. And if you do that,
if you're lucky, you can get a visual of it, which is pretty interesting.
And have these little things going in your hand called recorders all the time.
Yeah, that's something I would like to highlight about investigating is that if you're going to go into an investigation, the first thing you're going to need to do, and a lot of people do it, but some people don't know it yet, don't know that they should, or it's a wise idea to do it, is to turn on your voice recorder prior to walking into the building.
Yeah.
Because we have caught so many EVPs
outside
that way on the sidewalk, everything. So yeah, I actually got one up here in Concrete that was pretty creepy, and
yeah, that was really weird.
We don't know who it was or what it was. So.
I mean, I got hit in I don't know, you want to call it attacked, hit, whatever, in Deer Lodge, in
they don't know where that's at, Russ.
Montana. It's an old territorial prison in Montana, and I got nailed and thrown into a brick wall. But I had my audio going. We didn't get any pictures of it because while I've flying through the air, you can't take a picture while you're flying. But so keep your audio going because we've gotten great EVPs just on the fly. Once I was doing a walkthrough, was at a place up here, the mental institution in Cedar Woolley, northern state. And we're walking around, and the gentleman that was taking us around at that point in time, he's passed now.
This is when we were going to check out the place, where we could hook up equipment and things like that.
Somebody but there was no throwing nuts or screws or
sounded like tools hit. Like when you throw something metal onto concrete, that noise it makes, that little ping noise.
We didn't hear nothing when we were up there. We even commented how quiet it was, but on the recording, bing, 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 things just flying all around us.
Yeah, and Russ was picking up all kinds of EVPs in the old bathrooms, and it was cool. I was too busy talking to the guy, so I didn't, do anything.
We got quite a bit of evidence just on the walkthrough.
Yeah, I mean, we actually got more on the walkthrough than we did during the investigation, but a lot of people were seeing.
Run your recording.
Now, I saw an apparition that night, and I'll never forget that as long as I live.
The doctor, right?
Yes,
doctor,
he was
yeah.
a guy. He was a doctor, and he had
He
a
was
white
seen
coat
by
on.
2 different places. She saw him, and
Then another psychic
Dave,
saw him.
what's his
I
name?
can't think of his name. I can't think of his name. Mark. No.
Yeah, Mark.
Was it Mark?
Mark.
Anyway, some guy that we're with.
Jeffrey. Mark Jeffries.
Yes.
Jeffrey Marks. Jeffrey Marks.
Jeffrey Marks.
Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, Jeff.
Jeez, he's a good friend too.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was there, and he ended up he started walking down this one hall, and it turned something. This guy comes out of the old surgery room, has a scalpel in his hands, and spiritually stabs him in the stomach, and he felt all that.
Could you imagine?
That he was pretty freaked out after that.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
That pretty freaked out.
And I
he never. I mean, he was a medium, so
I don't doubt him.
But
no,
still,
I've known him too long.
Yeah, but yeah, you can go in and find a bunch of stuff and be totally excited about it, and then you get to the point where Russ and I are, and we're still excited about it. Don't get us wrong, but it's not as necessary now to investigate, but it's more so important to help these spirits cross if you can. If they want to go, you can't make them go, but not literally. I mean, because you can kind of what people call bind them to a certain area of the home so their energy's low and everything else, but it's still there.
I don't know why you even want to do that, because it seems to me that if you acknowledge what's going on and you coexist, the haunting they're just doing their thing.
Yeah.
They're just doing their thing.
And most of the time, a lot of people don't realize this. If you find these
light streak coming in is cool.
Yeah, no. When you find these
coming in my head.
Would you be quiet? When you find these spirits in attics or in basements, there's a reason for that. They're trying to stay away from the living. They don't want to communicate. And that's why a lot of times they get angry, and you'll hear "get out," or other nice words. Yeah, I've been called all kinds of things, but I don't let it bother me, because I just know that they're frustrated and they're angry for whatever reason that they stayed. They're not happy with their decision. So, whatever. So you just have to realize they have feelings and everything too.
Well, and they get ignored, and nobody pays attention. Nobody really catches on. So they're like the little 3-year-old that's been ignored all day, tugging on mama's pants.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, mom's gonna go, what?
It's like, mama.
Yeah, well, they don't know. They're just tugging. They don't know that. For years I said, oh, they can't harm you.
They can, but not as much as people might think. I mean, they can pull your hair, they can scratch you, they can trip. I mean, they can push you.
They put a bruise across my chest, so.
Yeah, but But anyway,
that was a pretty good hit. But there again, I mean, I think it's just attention, trying to get your attention.
Mm-hmm. Now there's we've ran into some pretty heavy duty malevolent spirits, and they're not nice to get along with.
No.
My thing is like Latasha's saying, I set my boundaries as soon as I walk. If I feel something, I set my boundaries. I just tell them, look, you're not allowed to get near me or touch me or anything. And if you do, I'm going to bind your butt someplace you're not going to like, So yeah, I do my best to try to communicate with all spirits that I come in contact with. Some, if their energy is too oppressive or anything, I just tell them no. No, I don't want you near me. So
another little tip: if you're dealing with a child spirit, careful what you say.
Yeah, because a lot of those kids, they don't know that they're dead.
They don't know they're dead. I did that. We had a situation. It was in Montana, an old hotel.
We'll tell you about a lot of these places someday.
I made that mistake, and you could feel. It was like a kid crying.
We could hear it. It was on the voice recorder.
So sad.
Yeah.
Everybody felt it.
And he came and got me, and I went in the room, and I made everybody get out, and I sat there and talked to him, and And I had the voice recorder going, and you could hear him kind of giggle once in a while when I was talking to him. And
she saved the day.
I didn't send him on because it's almost like you have to get, when these people own these buildings that are haunted, you have to almost get permission to move the spirits on, because they're trying to run a business.
Yeah, but
and I hate doing that.
But the hotel there doesn't want their spirits gone.
Right.
It's a draw. There's a couple of spots there that are
adamant.
Well, there we go. Ghost towns. One of my favorites.
Right.
So
anyway. Sorry we had to kind of ramble for the last few minutes, but I was thinking that I would get to talk about more of them, but
rambling man. Yeah. What's that song? There's a song there.
But next Friday we'll be back on time, normal schedule. But
we'll have a much better show. This is kind of a film. We didn't want to go, oh, you guys don't get anything.
Right.
You got to put up with some of it, Just
okay. So next
these old people. That's what they're going. These old people are
next
crazy.
Week. I think we're gonna cross over the water to Port Townsend and Fort Worden, maybe, and the Manresa Castle. I think
that's a cool place.
It's a cool hotel.
Isn't that where the monks are? Upstairs we stayed.
Don't talk about it. Anyway,
shut up, Russ.
Yeah, shut up, Russ. I mean, maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk about Port Gamble too, because it's a pretty cool place.
We got so many places that we can tell you about.
Wait till we go out of state. Oh. Then we're really. I mean, I like doing stuff about haunted stuff because a lot of people live on the East Coast may never have the chance to come over here on our coast and get to see or hear things that we've experienced over here. So.
Who's that? I can't see it.
Danny Mosley.
Hey.
Hello, Danny. How are you? Hello, Mary. Hello. Yeah.
I'm terrible. Here. I don't know if you want to say I'm terrible about it, but even in a restaurant or like we stopped in a mom and pop place, nobody there, just her and I and the owner. And all of a sudden we're talking ghosts. Place was haunted. Who knew? And wonderful people.
You know what?
Good food too.
I think next week we'll talk about the Seattle Underground.
Oh wow!
And also the Merchants Cafe. There's a couple places in Seattle we could talk about. The Pioneer Cemetery, which is now called Comet Lodge.
That's that place where the guy corrected the saint. Shut up, Russ.
Did I just slap him to get him to stop talking about things we're going to talk about? Stop it.
We both look great. I know I look great.
Whatever.
I'm working on this.
He's got turkey neck like I do. Nothing you can do about it, people. Trust me. When you get to be close to 60, you start getting this.
See, after 60, you start going, I can't remember how old I am. I just don't know.
No, I've never forgot how old I am.
Well, I went back at 60. I went and started going back. I'm actually at 55.
He's a liar. He's 6 months younger than me, but that's about it.
6 months out of the year, I'm married to an older woman.
He's sick. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry, the show wasn't all that exciting tonight. I apologize, but yeah, I'm still tired from yesterday. So
she knows she's 62.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and you can't do really nothing about it. I mean, oh, Dad's nose. Tosh says your nose is growing.
Look at that beam coming into my brain. I'm getting stuff from outside.
Mary Goss said I should use duct tape on you.
Might help.
So
just like that.
But that would rip his mustache off.
No. I was born with that.
He's such a liar.
We had pictures, but we lost them in the Great Fire,
What Great Fire?
Well, I heard about it. I wasn't there.
Oh, God.
I was at my grandma's house, apparently. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I got a lot of stories from my childhood that go like that. We lost the pictures. And the Great Fire.
He's so full of he's so full of it. Surprised his eyes aren't brown.
I can't remember anything. Well, we did have a bonfire once, but I don't remember any pictures involved. But.
Anyway, you guys have a great.
Wasn't really a bonfire. It was
Rusty,
kind of a small campfire.
You guys have the great rest of your weekend, and we will be back on Monday. Not us, but Dave Wells will be back on Monday with Dave's Dojo, where he will be doing tarot readings for you guys. And he's really good at it, so take advantage.
Yeah, he's really good. It was more of a Boy Scout campfire type, small.
And on Wednesdays, I think they're thinking about changing like to every other week, but Catalina Martinez and Latasha Schipple, who is actually in chat right now,
should be grounded right now.
They're going to be doing their shows, and then on Thursdays, I think it's every Thursday now, Rhonda's going to be doing hers. She's going to be starting to have guests, so that's a good show to tune into because she's an empowerment coach, and she's really, really good at what she does.
Had lots of bonfires. Yeah. Well, we were in Florida, so we really weren't allowed. You burned the state down.
Yeah, for sure. So come and enjoy our shows. Most of the time now they're going to be on my profile page so we can see you and you guys can see us.
Right.
Because if I put it in the groups, Facebook's got this weird thing that if you put it in groups, nobody when you guys come up in the chat, I don't see your names. All I see is the comment. So that's why I put it on my profile page so that you guys can see us and hear us. And yeah. Anything else coming up? Right before we go, we got about 10 minutes left. So before we go, I wanted to talk a little bit about the event that I came up with for September. Now, I've been seriously going back over in my head whether or not I want to do it or change it, because I don't know. I just have this. I can't explain it. I have this overwhelming feeling like I should not be. It should be like a free event. And you guys know I used to do tarot readings all the time, and I love doing them. And I'm probably going to go back to doing them again eventually, but I've just been trying to take a break from it. But the event,
I do too.
It's like 25 people doing this paranormal forum, talking about what they do, talking about how they do it, all this stuff. But the only problem, I have to have people who are willing to volunteer to do this, and that's hard. Because there's some people, I won't say who, but there's some people out there that think they need to be paid for everything, and I won't go into that. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I may cancel it till like next year and then try again. Revamp it.
I don't really have a problem with people trying to make a living doing what they know to do, but paranormal field, I don't.
I'm gonna open up. What I may do is open up the group page that I had designated just for the forum, and then maybe we can have some discussions on there about what people would like to see and what they would like to hear.
Because for us, it ain't about money.
No,
it's about getting together and sharing.
It's about helping people, and
some people ain't going to be able to afford to buy in to come to the thing. That's not fair.
Well, I mean, the buy-in was cheap because you got 2 full days of listening to outside of the box thinking as far as the paranormal goes, whether you're an author, a speaker, a presenter, a psychic, or tarot reader, whatever you do.
Yeah.
I would like to see there be a unification in the paranormal field, because right now,
but we got to get these other people to drop their ego.
We're stuck in this entertainment thing.
Yeah.
And if you're in the paranormal, you need to be more open to new way of thinking, instead of just being confined to one kind of thought or one kind of whatever. So that's why I'm thinking about, and it's not because I want to give up on it, because I don't.
No.
But I may revamp it and make it something that everybody will enjoy. They can stop in, they can, whatever. I would love to do, Russ and I are going to start doing local events where we're going to do street investigations every weekend. and people can come. We're gonna have them in different little towns around here that we know have some hauntings going on, and make it a little business for ourselves because we got to live too, just like everybody else. I mean, it won't be much because locally around here, our economy is not that great, probably just like everybody else. But I would rather do something that everybody can enjoy, and learn a little bit about spirits and how things work with them and all that, and let them enjoy using a couple pieces of equipment and yeah. That I would rather do that than
you throw
kind of what
together
I'm
some
talking
videos.
about, so.
You kind of educate them.
Oh, sorry, Robert. It's
Hey,
okay,
Robert.
buddy. You could go. We didn't. It was no big deal tonight, man. Trust me. But I hope everybody enjoyed what we did talk about.
Hey, Robert, I have been seeing some outstanding stuff. Your rocks that you've been doing, your stones and stuff, man. You really do some nice work, dude.
Yeah, Mary. Yeah, I agree with you. I think ghost stories would be a cool thing to do, but the only problem is people don't talk about everything that happens to them, or if they're being haunted or whatever the case may be. They don't always talk about it, and there is not just one place that everybody can come, or even that they desire to come, because they're too busy worrying about this or worrying about that, and their egos, we won't even go into that.
Oh my Lord, no.
I mean, I love Paracons, don't get me wrong. I've been to a couple myself, but the only problem is it's that ego. It's everybody wanting to outdo the other person. That's not what it's supposed to be about.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
It's supposed to be about a passion, that we have for something that's outside of what is normal. Yeah, I could get into this. I could make this a whole hour conversation.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm gonna let you guys go for now. And you guys know me, and Russ, and we are who we are. I mean, this is who we are. We don't change just because we're on air or anything else. So what?
Who are you? Oh.
Anyway, we love you guys, and we hope you come back and watch us again next week. And
yeah, come back, watch the old people.
Yeah, we love it. We're not old. We're just getting older.
Maybe next time we'll start out by eating Jello.
Jello?
Yeah. Well, hey,
I don't like Jello. it's squished. It's wiggly. I don't like it.
The green lemon kind.
Yeah. Anyway,
that nobody wants.
Night, guys. We love you. Take care.